confess to your partner the worst thing you've ever done, especially not after pink wine. Hello, I'm Sneha, and this is Moviemaniacs. So, I just finished watching a new film called The Drama that starts off almost like a slightly awkward rom com and then suddenly decides, what if we made everybody deeply uncomfortable instead? And honestly, mission accomplished. The film stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in the roles of Emma and Charlie, who meet at a coffee shop and fall for each other. And we get to watch them at a time when they are about to get married. So, a few days before their wedding, after having too much to drink and even worse judgment, the couple, egged on by their friends, decide to confess to each other the worst things they've ever done, which already feels like an absolutely terrible idea. And from there on, the film completely spirals into this strange moral nightmare about guilt, judgment, hypocrisy, and whether people can ever really move past the worst things they've done or even thought of doing, or whether society will ever allow them to. And what fascinated me is that the film keeps flirting with these huge ideas without ever fully settling into them. It wants to be provocative, it wants to make you uncomfortable. It wants to sit in moral ambiguity, which is exactly like real life. But sometimes it also feels like the film itself doesn't quite know where it stands. For instance, there's this scene involving Charlie's co-worker, played by Haley Gates. He asks her what's the worst thing she's ever done. And she casually says cheating, before immediately doing the same. And the film barely underlines the moment. The hypocrisy of it all is laid bare. And honestly, that's when the drama becomes most interesting to me. Not when it's trying to shock you, but when it accidentally reveals how judgment works in society. There's this entire discussion about a DJ that becomes weirdly important. The couple and their friends only start obsessing over the DJ once they suspect she might have done something terrible. And suddenly, that one possible act becomes her entire identity. Nothing else about her matters anymore. And that's exactly what happens to Emma. Had they never known her secret, they would have continued seeing her as a kind, warm, and empathetic person. But the second some rather controversial information enters the room, everything else gets erased. And the funniest part? The people judging her are arguably worse. Like Charlie dismissing cyberbullying casually when Emma talks about being bullied as a child. That line tells you everything, because suddenly you realize these people are constantly ranking morality in ways that benefit themselves. Everybody wants to believe they are the reasonable one, ethical, or even evolved. Meanwhile, half of them are actively terrible. And I think that's where the film becomes accidentally fascinating, because I'm not even sure the discomfort comes from the twist itself. The discomfort comes from watching people indulging in performative morality while completely failing to interrogate themselves. Now, do I think the film fully works? Honestly, for me, it mostly did. Faltering a bit here and there, maybe. At times, it feels like it's circling around big ideas without really committing to them. And sometimes, the characters feel less like real people and more like vehicles for discomfort. But I couldn't stop thinking about it afterward, which honestly might be the film's biggest strength. Because even when the drama stumbles, it keeps poking at something very real. How quickly empathy disappears once judgment enters the room.